The Goliath. That's the remote control unit for it.
They start making these at the end of the 1930s. They use them for a huge number of roles, just as the Americans do. The idea being the tracks gives you... Sort of a mid-tone colour that they thought would work just as well on the eastern front as it would on the western front. Or today, and they're two original vehicles that have been restored. We'll see some other vehicles later on, and it's quite hard on this, you know, when you're looking at to tell which are the replicas, which are the fakes, as it were, and what are the ones that are actually real vehicles taking part in old battle.
you can see, under tremendous cost on both sides. Broken vehicles, dead soldiers littering the battlefield. Indeed, General Patton himself in his command car coming down to take a look at the aftermath of the battle.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll soon be starting the air display in a moment, but as the vehicles depart, we'll talk a little bit about them, but also just round of applause for the reenactors and Tim here for the commentary. They put a lot of time and effort putting this together, all their own uniforms, and they've done a tremendous display. Fantastic commentary as well. Now the reenactors, they're speaking the field, all the speakers, they're marching back to their various encampments. We'll be taking the vehicles as well back inside, and immediately we're going to be entertained in another way by the air display.
The Piper L4 Grasshopper used extensively by the Allied forces. Both the British and the American. It's actually based on As you can see, the L4 Grasshoppers found the Leicestershire. Leicestershire doing the same thing for the German forces. Now, neither aircraft were armed, except the American crew had their 45 caliber Colt sidearms, an automatic pistol. Now, you've only got door on the right hand side of a standard Grasshopper. Some of them had doors on both sides, but most did actually have doors on one side. So what the Grasshopper had to do was manoeuvre so the right hand side of his aircraft was opposite the Storch. The pilots opened the door, leaned out with their sidearms and fired at the German aircraft. Now you can see here the Leicestershire does not want to play. He's manoeuvring all over the place. He doesn't actually want to get shot at. Shows you just how incredible the other way. Consequently, he was shot down. Unusually, even though his aircraft was very badly damaged, he managed to bail out. He survived and did indeed become a pilot later in the war. So what you're looking at there is the first American aircraft to be shot down in the Second World War. You're also looking at the American aircraft that was in the last dogfight in Europe. Quite a remarkable claim to fame. As you can see, the Storch pilot is not enjoying being chased down like this. Lieutenants Dwayne Francis and William Martin manoeuvring as hard as they can. They fired their sidearms at the Storch. You can see he's smoking. Now what actually happened in the real dogfight was the German pilot of the Storch was shot through the foot. Got out and gave the German crew first aid As I said, William Martin was actually a US Army medic and were to survive the war, which I think is light aircraft recovered back to our airfield. Just as my favourite aeroplane of this show, the Douglas C-47 Dakota